important afternoon game for the St. Louis Cardinals as they take on the Atlanta Braves. It's game number 3. The Cardinals need wins down the stretch. It's also Pooch's in the Park Day. Best in Show Uno has made his way to the Midwest. It's the Atlanta Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals on FSN game number 3. This all-important game, the reason why 8 back are the Cardinals of Chicago and 3.5 games back of Milwaukee. That's Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and we welcome you to the broadcast booth. It's an important start for Braden Looper, and if you look back at the last 5 starts for Braden since the game against Atlanta, he's been very, very good.
Just do what you've been doing, because he has pitched some of his best baseball as a starter in his last 5 outings. He has not allowed more than 2 earned runs or 2 runs in any game, and you can see 7 innings pitched. You do that, the bullpen falls in place.
Al, the big question with Looper, can he get run support, because he's given his team a shot to win these games?
That's true. As well as he's pitched, he has not always picked up the victory because the opposition has really shut down the Cardinal offense.
So we'll wrap up our series with the Atlanta Braves this afternoon. Off day tomorrow, then Milwaukee comes to town. When we come back, we'll talk about the Cardinals closer. Dare I say closer? That's Chris Perez, the rookie. The spotlight will shine on him when we come back. Chris Perez next on FSN. The FSN Spotlight shines on Cardinals rookie reliever Chris Perez. Perez is 23, and he was taken as the 42nd player overall in the 2006 draft. As compensation for the Giants signing of free agent Matt Morris. He is the first Cardinal and 7th player in the major leagues to be promoted from that draft class. In college, Perez was considered one of the top closers in the collegiate ranks. He wound up at Miami after he was converted from a catcher to a pitcher in high school. At 6'4", 225 pounds, Perez has a fastball in the mid to high 90s and an improving slider that he uses well. 2008 with the Cardinals has been a dream come true.
The whole goal in the minor leagues is to be a major league closer, and get the chances. It's fun and exciting. It's great to be out there late in the game, and the fans are up, and to bring home a win, it feels great.
His first major league save was a memorable one, a 5-out save against the LA Dodgers.
Well, afterwards, I was really relieved. I had a long day that day coming in from Sacramento, and I was just relieved that I was able to help the team out and win. We had been scuffling, especially the bullpen later, late in the game, and just be able to get 5 outs, which is something I had struggled with earlier. My first time up here was going more than an inning, and to get against a good team, the Dodgers, it felt great relief too at the end.
Perez hasn't been shy in saying that the end of the game, closing, is where he feels most comfortable.
I feel comfortable as a closer. I understand how hitters attack me late in the game with a lead, and knowing I only have to go out there for an inning and sometimes a little bit more, but usually just an inning. I can let it all loose and don't have to hold anything back for the next inning, because that's the 9th inning. That's it.
Perez has enjoyed pitching for 2 of the best in baseball, manager Tony La Russa and pitching coach Dave Duncan.
They're all about winning, and especially Tony and Dunk helps out a little bit about, the mental side, about, pitching the contact and using your best stuff to get outs and not having to pitch a certain way. And they're just, they want to win every game. It doesn't matter, rain delays, late flights, doesn't matter. They want to win, and that's why we're here, is to win. And, I think it helps that they've shown confidence in me a little bit now, my second time up, and hopefully I keep it up.
That's rookie reliever Chris Perez on the FSN Spotlight. A gorgeous afternoon for baseball. Glad you're with us on this Sunday afternoon here on FSN Midwest, along with Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin and our Bud Productions crew. An all-important game here in late August for the Cardinals. There's Bobby Cox, the future Hall of Famer, and the manager for the Atlanta Braves. And behind Dave Duncan, you see Tony La Russa as the Cardinals let one slip away yesterday. Have to bounce back this afternoon. Let's take a look at the Braves lineup. We'll highlight Martin Prado. This series 5 for 9, 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Gregor Blanco is in center field today. He'll lead it off. Yunel Escobar, the shortstop. Then Chipper Jones. He's hitting .360. Brian McCann, Omar Infante, Prado. Then it's Jones, Francoeur, and JoJo Reyes, the pitcher. Pitching for the Cardinals, as we highlighted in our open. Last 5 starts, very good. Needs run support. Rico starter, Braden Looper.
His ERA just right at 2 in his last 6 starts, but very little run support. A record of 2 and 3 during that time. But this good stretch all got started with a victory against the Atlanta Braves.
Let's take a look at the defense. As always, as we go around the horn, it's brought to you by Auto Tire. Brian Barton is in left field. Joe Mather is in center. Ryan Ludwig in right. Troy Gloss over third. He may be the Gold Glove winner this year. Cesar Izturis at short. Aaron Miles at second base. Albert Pujols at first. And Yadier Molina is behind the plate. 6 pickoffs this season, and that leads the major leagues. So you see a lineup that features all righties in it against JoJo Reyes. As I mentioned, an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball. It's just outside the ballpark here in downtown St. Louis. In desperate need are the Cardinals of a win before Milwaukee gets here on Tuesday night.
And especially the fact, too, that the Atlanta Braves have lost 11 of their last 13. Really struggling since the All-Star break, 12-23. And their pitching was very good in the first half, second best in the National League, but they're dead last since the All-Star break.
Looper has allowed just 9 earned runs in his last 6 starts. ERA just over 2. That's 40 innings. As you get a look at Bobby Cox, still trying to find out about his team for 2009, and some of the players out playing out of position as they try to find a spot for him next year too.
Well, so many injuries, they've had to be creative with their lineups. Many times they'll have people playing out of position, just don't have the depth.
First pitch at 118 here in the Midwest. And this is Gregor Blanco. And he looks at a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Looper is a free agent to be. And it'll be very interesting to see what happens with him after this season. The Cardinals, apparently under Walt Jocketty, had at least broached the subject of talking contract extension with Looper. And nothing has been done so far this year, but we don't know what happens behind closed doors and what's happening maybe right now.
Yeah, a good point. And really, some of the best contracts are the ones that all of a sudden you hear about the announcement of a signing, but you don't hear anything about the negotiations.
Called, 3rd strike, and Blanco is retired for the first out. It's 85 degrees here in St. Louis at our game time temperature.
Well, high strike zone right there. Nice framing by Yadier Molina.
I thought it was interesting, and this being pointed out in the morning paper here in St. Louis, as you get a look at Escobar, the shortstop, who's hitting .290. But Looper entered the weekend with an identical ERA to Kyle Loge and only 2 fewer quality starts. And that says something, as we've always talked about Loge getting much of the attention this year. On a hop, Cesar Izturis over to Pujols. But you look at Looper, pretty identical numbers.
That's a very good point. And you know, Looper averages 5 2/3, the same as Loesch now is at 6. But you know, they're going out there, and actually Loesch has had a little bit less run support, but really they've only you know, 2 more runs total that Looper's gotten more than Loesch.
Chipper Jones is hitting .360. High praise for Albert Pujols, as he was saying, even if I win the batting title or Lance Berkman or whoever it might be, I think we all know Pujols is the best hitter. It's been that way for a long time as far as consistency is concerned. As the shift was on, and well off the line was Troy Gloss, and Chipper Jones retired. Good start for Looper. Pooch is in the ballpark on this Sunday afternoon here at Busch. Bing, 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 just like that. The Braves go 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Gateway Arch here in St. Louis. A look at Tony La Russa's lineup. Albert Pujols, the last 7 games, hitting above 500. Izturis, Mather, and Albert here in the first. Then Ludwig, Gloss, and Molina. Miles, Looper, and Barton. They'll face a left-hander. We haven't seen many lefties as of late. Rico's starter for Bobby Cox is JoJo Reyes. He's 3-9.
He's a very young pitcher. Just lacks experience. Right before we were in Atlanta this season, he was sent down to the minor leagues. Last season, he started in A-ball, and say he had not pitched above A-ball, and then went to AA, AAA, and all the way to the big leagues. He's got a lot of talent. He's capable of pitching an outstanding game, but he's also capable of getting rocked.
You see his Turris, the leadoff spot for the Cardinals, and not Skip Schumacher, who has a 9-game hitting streak, which he's hit over 430. And you had an email question on the pregame show about Skip Schumacher. Look what I found as Reyes makes the play. Now, he's a guy that all of a sudden you watch on an everyday level, and you know, you have all the confidence in the world in Skip Schumacher as you see Brandon Jones in left, Blanco in center, Francoeur with the good arm in right. 55 outfield assists since 2005, which leads Major League Baseball June 7th of that year. Jones, Escobar, Infante, and Prado. Brian McCann is behind the plate, but
you were a little stunned by that question too, weren't you?
I was, because to me, Skip Schumacher is not going to be an odd man out.
And that was the mailbag section, and somebody, you know, was saying that they thought Schumacher would be the odd man out and either get traded or something. I think you agree with me. We don't see it that way.
You have young players like a Joe Mather or a Duncan coming back off an injury. And who's to say that Colby Rasmus, we hope he's going to be a great player, but who's to say he's going to be the player that everyone's talking about that he's going to be once he gets here?
Right. And you know, it wouldn't hurt him to play a full season in AAA. And that's, you know, he got off to a very slow start, which he always does, but this one was longer than previous seasons. And then with the injury, you know, he's been out for 6 weeks or so.
Right.
So, I mean, he's going to miss close to 2 months.
Missed the Olympics because of it. Team USA won the bronze, and Brian Barden, who we saw at the end of last season, who's an infielder, played a significant role for Team USA.
Yeah, starting second baseman most of the time for that club, and he was having a good year at AAA. He may be one of the guys that get a September call-up.
I wonder how much attention is being paid to the Cardinals' two individual players, Pujols and Ludwig, as far as the MVP and where they stand right now after just about 5 months of this regular season. Will they be talked about? That's now 5 straight balls.
Well, I know, and I was listening to the Fox Game of the Week yesterday, and Mark Grayson was talking about Albert is his MVP of the National League this year.
Pujols hits it down the left field line, and it is gone. 2-0 Cardinals. Albert Pujols with number 28, and what a series he has had.
So you're impressed by 7 for 9, 2 home runs in a series?
A couple doubles too.
Line drive right there. Didn't take long at all for that ball to get out. Just crushed. Some people were wondering if Albert would get to 100 RBIs. It's a question, will he get to 100 RBIs, you know, with September left to play?
I'll be honest, I was one of the people that brought that up a lot during our telecasts. And you said without batting an eye, oh, 100 RBIs, he's there. And you're exactly right. Now he's got 87. So it's almost a foregone conclusion he's going to get to 100. Now you start talking 110, 120.
If he stays healthy.
Right.
And, you know, Ludwig, you know, but talking about the MVP, you just wonder how many votes that Ludwig and Pujols will split.
Pujols came in hitting .356. He now has 28 home runs, which ties him with Prince Fielder. There's only 6 players ahead of him in the home run department, and now with 87 RBIs.
Well, how about the batting race? Chipper 0 for 1, Albert 1 for 1.
Chipper came in at .360.
Yeah, so there were 4 points separating, and you know Albert had to pick up at least a point, and Chipper loses a point.
1-2 the count on Ludwig. Ludwig, left center, should be caught. But Blanco is there for out number 2. Back to Pujols. A 2-run shot. Majority of his home runs have been solo home runs that we talked about the other night. It's only the 9th time that he's had people aboard with the long ball.
Yeah, that's one of the factors is And one key for this offense is having been on ahead of whether it's Albert or Ludwig.
Pujols in his last 81 games is hitting .361 and still trailing Chipper Jones.
But Albert's average has been on the climb, and Chipper is part of it because of timing off with injuries this season. A couple different stints, extended period of times with leg injuries that has kept Chipper Jones out of the lineup. And so, he's trying to he's battling right now to get his timing back, and Albert is locked in.
I would imagine Chipper, longtime veteran, has to be a little bit harder to keep your edge when postseason play isn't an option.
Oh, you're good point. Good point. I mean, it's hard for him to challenge himself, and he's a professional. Obviously, he'll get the job done. But without the supporting cast, or more importantly, playing meaningful games team-wise. And that's why, as important as the batting race is for both individuals, both of them would trade in the batting title for, team going into postseason.
2-2 the count. That last pitch, a changeup to Troy Gloss. 2-0 St. Louis on the Pujols homer. Gloss hits it towards third. Nice pick by Chipper Jones. Pujols, a remarkable series so far in the first 3 games. Over the weekend, the long ball here in the first. 2-0 Cardinals. Albert Pujols has made it 2-0 in favor of the Cardinals after an inning of play here in St. Louis. Brian McCann will lead it off for the Braves. Here's that classic swing, Al, of Albert's.
Well, you just see how balanced he is. Then the point of contact, you just look at how his arms are extended. The eyes are riveted at the point of contact. That classic follow through with the wrist and forearms, finishing high. I mean, it's just, but look at how the stride, the balance from the lower part of it is all in sync with the upper part.
Here's McCann, and a big swing and a miss. Also up in the booth is our colleague Ricky Horton, who apparently, as reported by Bernie Miklasz of the Post-Dispatch, correct me if I'm wrong, Al, left the Springsteen concert early last night. Is that correct?
No. He was rocking out.
Oh, rocking out.
I think he even got the distinction of being a mad rocker.
Mad rocker. Leo Mazzoni's up here.
I've been called worse things.
So I'm wrong then.
I did not leave early.
Okay, good.
I was there till the bitter end.
Bernie, I'm sorry.
It was over after midnight.
Bad.
And what time did you arrive at the 7:30 concert?
I was there at about 7:30 for the 7:30 concert.
And I was a little smarter, but not smart enough, because
par for the course.
I got there about 8:15. Okay, I got there at 8:15. Now, how long did we have to wait before
I believe
the boss showed up?
I believe it was 8:49.
8:49. And did you notice what I noticed, that maybe within 2 minutes prior to the boss taking the stage, that there was a manager of the St. Louis Cardinals that went up from the floor, from back behind, came up through the stands.
Now, I missed that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have the good seats like you probably had, Al.
The strikeout of McCann, second of the afternoon for Looper. 4 up, 4 down.
I asked Tony for, I wanted a refund for, at least the portion that he held up the concert. And Tony is very serious about this and very emphatic. He goes, no. He was accused as he was going through the stands of exactly what I'm talking about. But he said he had to wait 20 minutes for Springsteen to talk with him. So he is not responsible for the tardiness of the concert.
Well, it didn't bother me a bit, guys, because I was next to Matthew Leach, who we love, who does a lot of the work for MLB.com, and we were right next to each other, so I got to just kind of.
So you're rocking out.
Oh, I was.
Okay. I misunderstood what I thought was reported.
Now my wife's
Bernie reported that you were rocking out.
My wife's a little more of a rocker than I am.
A mad rocker.
But I can do it.
Yeah. He is quite an entertainer.
Oh, it was an unbelievable show. Unbelievable. More energy than Dan McLaughlin.
Like I said, he's quite the entertainer.
And again, here's Omar Infante, everybody. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That was a tough loss, wasn't it, Ricky, yesterday?
Oh, boy, that was hard to deal with, especially coming after the first game of the series where the Cardinals, everything they did was right.
Like how he just transitioned out of that.
Yeah, that was smooth.
Thank you. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Instead, Looper will wait and regroup. Cardinals need a win, obviously, desperately here to stay pace with Milwaukee, depending on what happens with them today. But you want to at least have a chance to keep it somewhat close in this wild card race before they get to town on Tuesday night.
Well, you think about how the Cubs just started to ease away from the Cardinals, and now they're so far out there that really can't really imagine catching them. You don't want the same thing to happen with Milwaukee. So I think this game's important today. Clearly, the Milwaukee games are, and you don't want to say it's do or die. You have to win both, but I'm going to say it's do or die. You have to win both.
Oh, and hit by the pitch was Infante. I'm going to put both you guys on the spot. You ready? I'll start with you, Ricky. Would you re-sign Braden Looper?
It depends on the cost. That's not the answer you want, but I think it depends on how much he's going to ask for. I'm going to say he's probably going to ask for more than you can afford.
Which would be in the neighborhood of what? What would you think? And would you want to go do a 3 or 4 year deal with him, if that's what he's going to ask?
If you're going to be a serious player for almost any starting pitcher, you're going to have to consider 3 years.
No question.
If you don't consider 3 years for a starter, you might as well just, forget about it. Jeff Porter, the trainer for the Atlanta Braves, out there as that ball hits him in the hand, and Bobby Cox out seeing another potential serious injury to one of his players, just running in on him, looks like right below the wrist and the forearm there. He's going to be okay. He's going to first base. Easy for us to say, but
did you think, Al, almost Suppan territory in terms of contract?
I mean, obviously, if I don't think the Cardinals are willing to go that high exactly.
But somebody's
going to give him $40 million.
I don't think so.
Nothing surprising.
I think that, and it's easy for us to speculate. I mean, we're all great at spending other people's money.
That's what all the fans do. We can do it too,
But I mean, I think realistically, the Cardinals are not going to be able to be in the marketplace where I think Loesch's number is going to be. I think Looper, at $6-7 million. Then you've got to, honestly got to sit there and say that could still be a bargain for the Cardinals.
Here is Martin Prado, the first baseman, a line drive into right field. And it's first and second with just one out here in the Braves, top of the second. Cardinals have a chance, obviously, depending on what happens with Carpenter this year, but certainly going into next year, as long as he's healthy, to have a pretty good staff. If you've got Looper as your 3 or your 4, depending on what you do, you feel pretty good about it because you've got Wellemeyer coming back, and he will start in the Braves series, and so will Wainwright. So, those guys are all going to be back next year, too.
I think another guy you've got to consider is Kyle McClellan. I mean, if you're saying that he's going to be not you, but Tony La Russa is saying they're going to look at him as a starter, that's a big plus, and certainly a guy that you've got locked up.
And Wellemeyer, I misspoke. He'll start against the Brewers.
Right. It's so many of these things. It's premature to really be speculating on, and really should concentrate on this game in hand. And then, the Milwaukee series. But the real point is you got to win this ball game. You have to win this game. And then, you got Philadelphia 1 game behind the Cardinals now in the wild card.
Here's Jones, 0-2 pitch, a foul tip. We were also talking, Ricky, about before the break, the MVP. And Al made a good point that you could have a situation where Ludwig could take some votes from Pujols and vice versa. But do you think on a national level these two guys are getting the consideration that they need to be in that conversation?
Well, I don't think Ludwig is. I think Albert has to be in people's mind, but based on what he's done since he's been in the major leagues, and it's about time he wins one, frankly. And we've seen that before here in St. Louis, haven't we, where the votes gotten split up by a couple of Cardinals having good years, and just hope that doesn't happen again.
1-2 the count. 2-0 Cardinals on Pujols' home run. Looper needs that ground ball double play.
To be quite honest, I think that a lot of these awards, and particularly the MVP, is yet to be determined, and it'll depend on what happens down the rest of the season, and probably realistically, in order for Albert to win, the team would have to get into postseason.
That's 3 strikeouts on the afternoon. Good pitch here, Ricky, from Braden Looper.
Yeah, he takes a little bit off of this pitch and has the hitter way out in front. Looper to me, he really goes well or poorly based on how his split works. I mean, to me, that's the most important pitch he has. He has pretty good command of his fastball. When his off-speed pitches work, he wins.
And the key to that is being ahead in the count.
Jeff Rancourt, the hitter, he has dropped to the 8th place for Bobby Cox in this lineup. And Al, to kind of finish your point about the MVP, go back to a couple years ago when the Cardinals won the World Series. The first 2 months, Albert Pujols was on another planet. If he has those 2 months at the end of the year, he probably wins the MVP. Agreed?
Yeah, if the team qualifies for postseason,
which they did that year, and then
yes.
Howard.
No, but I mean,
yeah.
but they'd have to duplicate that this year, having those type of numbers, or you know, something similar to it. You know, I go back to 1979 when they had the co-MVPs, Willie Stargell and Keith Hernandez. Keith Hernandez's numbers were so superior to Stargell, it wouldn't even, you know, shouldn't even been considered. But the Cardinals didn't win, and the Pirates did.
Just missing outside, 3-1.
I got to tell you, the whole MVP conversation gives me a headache and makes my brain want to explode, because I have in my mind, and so be careful, Dan, in my mind, you know, I really look at it as the best player in the league. I think of it as a league MVP, not as a MVP of the team that does well. And I think that's where you get Jimmy Rollins, who to me shouldn't have been the MVP last year, and I can go on and on about guys in my mind got the award for wrong reasons.
Well, and you know, I mean, that goes to all the awards. You know, how often do we talk about, and it's as a, you know, a lot of those are by writers, but you know, the coaches and managers vote on the Gold Glove, and we always talk about, you know, it depends on what you do offensively.
This is the pitcher, left center, drops in for a hit. Game is tied. JoJo Reyes, little floater into left center field. It's a base hit, couple of RBIs.
And those are his first 2 RBIs of the year, and only his 2nd hit of the year.
You're thinking at the time, wasn't the worst thing to walk Francoeur to bring in a guy that's hitting .043.
Well, Francoeur certainly struggled, but you're going to have a better chance of getting that pitcher out, and that's not really a well-hit ball. Reminds me of the first game of this series. The Cardinals had a lot of hits just like that one. Good effort from Brian Barton. He lays out, but just can't quite come up with it.
So the game is tied 2-2. Joe Reyes with his first 2 RBIs back to the top of the lineup, and there's a base hit to right. The Braves have the lead. It's 3-2.
Gee, Ricky, really thank you for coming over here.
Nice job, Ricky.
Hey, I don't want to take the credit. I don't want to take the blame.
Let me ask you about this, because sometimes, you know, it just seems so simplistic to pitch around an 8th place hitter, and you know, but when you pitch around and you don't get the 9th place hitter, now it kind of has this mental drag. Now you don't get the leadoff hitter, and he comes up with a big RBI base hit. But you know, as a pitcher, I always felt like I could own that 8th place guy.
Right.
And knowing I got the pitcher on deck, how important to really bear down, particularly in this situation, 2 men on, 2 outs, bear down on the 8th place man, and then I've got 1/3 of my success, because I'm going to get the pitcher out the next inning.
Here's Escobar, and a ground ball hit to third. We'll get Ricky's thoughts when we come back. Is the Braves strand 2, but they pick up 3. He's early for the postgame show, so we just throw him into the game broadcast. Al, Ricky, Dan with you. It's 3-2 Atlanta. College Football Saturday presented by Acura returns to FSN on August 30th. The doubleheader. First, Oklahoma State takes on Washington State, non-conference opener for both those teams. And then after Cardinal baseball next Saturday, we'll see Washington battle 20th ranked Oregon. Pac-10 showdown. Coverage begins. College football kickoff show August 30th at 2 in high definition right here on FSN Midwest. Pooch is in the park day here at the ballpark. You'd figure that would put a smile on Tony La Russa's face, but not the score. 3-2 in favor of the Braves. Molina, Miles, and Looper for St. Louis. If anybody can reach, then Brian Barton. Al, you pointed it out to me off the air, but it's interesting to see that Tony with the lefty going with the righties, despite the fact that it's kind of reversed going against JoJo Reyes, the way that you would normally think of it.
Well, and it's kind of misleading too, but lefties are batting only .260 against him, 1 home run. Right-handers .291 with 9 home runs. But there's a big difference in at-bats. 77 left-handed at bats versus 261 right-handed, so it gets a little skewed that way.
Here's a 2-0 pitch to Molina on the outside corner. It's Tim out there, and he's got to be aware because of the pooches to his left, apparently to his right, but he was telling Tom Mee that he was being bit as he was trying to shoot the game. That'll happen to you. It's Pooches in the Park Day.
Our crew does a great job, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
How about Uno? Were you impressed with Uno?
Best in show, Ricky.
Oh, come on.
I missed Uno. Sorry.
You're supposed to know these things.
Dog show?
I'm kind of into the horse world, Al. You know that.
Base hit for Yachty.
Why would you not expect him to get a hit against the Braves?
Sports Ultimate Nightly Highlight Show is here. The final score. Only national show that gives you nothing but wall-to-wall highlights. The final score tonight at 10:30. Only on FSN Midwest.
Yachty is now 14 for 26 against the Braves this season.
I'd like to do a game with the commentator from Best in Show. You know,
it's a great movie.
It's hilarious.
Christopher Guest movie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Aaron Miles.
What does that say about us, Rick?
Well, I think Al, we remind him of that movie a little
At
bit.
At times, yes.
You have to see it, Al.
Very much so. You need to see it before you say anything else. It's a compliment. How about Miles? When this guy plays, it seems like the Cardinals have success. Whether it's a pinch hitter, shortstop, second baseman, a pitcher, and now he picks up a base hit, and he makes me look good. I'll take that.
Chipper Jones playing in, thinking about the bunt. And Aaron Miles swings away. He betters his .325 average at his 65 starts, but by playing the third baseman in, then this high chopper gets over the glove of Chipper Jones. Playing back, it's a double play ball.
Incredible the number of base hits Aaron Miles gets on the first pitch thrown to him. I'd say, I'm surprised pitchers don't make him reach a little bit more. He's very aggressive at the plate.
And now, guys, how does Tony La Russa want to play this with a pretty good hitting pitcher up?
Well, first pitch, he squares around, shows bunt. But we know that with Tony La Russa with the pitcher, and here's a pretty good hitting pitcher. Looper, fourth best in the National League with swinging the bat. It could change off every single play.
Ricky, do you remember playing against a manager that did as much as Tony does with showing bunt and then pulling back? As the bunt is down, sacrifice is good.
No, I think he does that as much as anybody. I think, part of it is just he does it on a whim. He just has a feel for the situation, and he's kind of an enigma in some ways because Tony's a by the book guy, but yet if he has a feeling about a situation, he's not afraid to go against it.
And when Tony first came here, he was not. He was always defending the DH. And the one thing he did is said, okay, over here, one of the differences the pitcher hits. And he allocated more time for his pitchers to hit on a daily basis, the starting pitchers, than any manager I've ever seen.
Barton, base hit, down into the corner. This game is tied. Now the Cardinals have the lead. He drives in two, and it's 4-3 St. Louis.
And that's why he's able to do a lot of things with his pitchers because they're a pretty good hitting collective group. The sacrifice was the right thing in this situation, and Barton just proved it with the guys going over there.
Most hits in August, and the Cardinals as a team hitting well above 300, 226 hits for the Cardinals. That's updated as they close in on Baltimore.
They came in with a team batting average for the season at 281.
Here's Isturis, who's in the leadoff spot with Schumacher on the bench. Looks at a strike.
Cardinals have the best road batting average in the National League, but of course those 26 hits on Friday night have helped out that batting average, get it over 280.
One of the things the Cardinals had in game one of the series is a healthy Adam Wainwright back, and what a difference that could make down the stretch in the final month of this regular season, as that's taken by Martin Prado. And Tony La Russa, Ricky, was talking about the command that Wainwright had on Friday.
Well, he was. It was just great to have him back. I heard Al talk about before the game how much of a lift that was to the club. Not just him being there, but him also performing at such a high level.
Great seats remain. The Cardinals and Brewers. Final time in 08. Couple of thousand for both games. Central Division showdown beginning Tuesday right here at Busch.
That's hard to believe. Nearly 2,500 for, almost 5,000 seats for Tuesday night and almost 6,000 seats for Wednesday night.
Cardinals will face Ben Sheets in game 1. Cardinals will have Todd Wellemeyer on the mound, and here's Joe Mather.
There's field boxes too, so I mean it's just, there's all seats in every variety. Field boxes, loge boxes, terrace reserve.
The offense got all the headlines because of the game on Friday, but Wainwright, command and the way he pitched is so good to see him back. A line out to left. Brandon Jones puts it away. Are you sticking around or are you leaving? What are you doing?
I've got to go to the post-game think tank with Pat Parrish right now and go to work.
That means you got to dive into the popcorn.
He's got
That's
to
right,
eat.
the popcorn. Cardinal baseball this afternoon is presented in FSN HD high definition. 4-3, Cardinals back on top as they led 2-0. Then the Braves took the lead. St. Louis picks up 2 more. They lead it 4-3, and here's Chipper Jones. A couple of times in this series, Al, we've seen Jones just almost read the defense and guide the ball through the infield. There's only a select few of hitters that can do that are so good, have been around for so long, that are able to put the ball in play like that and pick up a base hit.
Well, like I said, he's kind of still trying to feel for it, get his timing back, but he's that gifted where he can still contribute, get base hits while he's searching for his true batting stroke.
Jones over the last 40+ games hitting around 280. So he's seen his overall average drop. High fly ball into right. Ludwig puts it away for the first out. And Chipper is 0 for 2. Brings in Brian McCann. Didn't see McCann in that first series. Was involved in a collision. Suffered a concussion. Was out of commission. That's popped up and out of play.
McCann leads all major league catchers with 21 home runs, 32 doubles, and 72 RBIs. Tied for first in RBIs and third in average, just under 300. And now, Dan, there's 1 point separating Albert and Chipper Jones in the batting race.
Here's another pop-up. So you may see Pujols at the top of that race before the day is through.
Right. Chipper Jones batting .358, Albert .357.
Omar Infante with 2 outs will dig in.
Not quite like the last day of the season.
Right.
When George Brett and Hal McRae, teammates, were vying for the batting championship in a controversial race in the final day.
And the one that Albert won was back in 2003. We finished up the season in Arizona. I'll never forget Kerry Robinson taking pictures with his phone, and he says, I've got the most exclusive footage of Albert's batting championship because they saw Todd Helton make an out in his final at bat and got.
Oh, they walked him.
Oh, that's right. The walk.
Intentionally walked him.
And they knew he was going to come up again, so Pujols had won the batting title. Once the game was over, saw a little celebration from Albert.
And
right center, Mather, he's there. Pujols will lead it off when we come back. Midway through 3, 4-3 St. Louis. This portion of Cardinal baseball on FSN Midwest is brought to you by your St. Louis area Kia retailers. Kia, the power to surprise. Banks of the Mississippi, downtown St. Louis. The Arch. Gorgeous day for baseball on this Sunday afternoon here on FSN. First pitch to Albert is taken for a strike. In his career, Pujols is hitting just above 365 against the Braves. Homered his first time up. And a line drive base hit out to left. Boy, what a series he has had. And he is red hot right now. 2 for 2 today.
Should allow him to overtake temporarily the batting leadership in the National League. 259 to 258 with this base hit, his second. And as the series, he is 8 for 10.
The high finish, the classic swing of Albert Pujols. So Pujols is up to 359. Ludwig looks at a strike. Bobby Cox talking about Ryan Ludwig, that he didn't know much about him before this year, but he said he's certainly taking notice now. Hard not to. Singleton scored in the 3rd inning Saturday, reached base in all 4 of his plate appearances on Friday. And everything he hit back in the series in Atlanta and so far in this series has been a bullet, according to Bobby Cox.
Now, Ryan Ludwig is not content to just have a good year.
Make sure Ryan Ludwig is on your back-to-school checklist by entering the Take Ryan Ludwig to School sweepstakes. It's presented by U.S. Cellular, and registration runs through September 14th at all St. Louis area U.S. Cellular locations.
Yeah, some guys having a good season like he's have are just kind of content to close it out in a good fashion. He's getting greedy. He told me the other night at Massage Lux that he wanted 40 home runs and 120 RBIs.
He's at 31 and 95.
And to keep that 300 batting average.
Spoils that pitch. We talked about it the other night. The fact is, he's been scoring runs at a pretty good clip too.
Yeah, he's very high this season.
Already
in the National
88.
League. But I mean, this month he's having a very good season. As Luddy has scored 19 runs this month. That's second most in the National League. He's tied for second in the major leagues and tops in the National League with 8 home runs this month. So that's why he's thinking in terms of
down the left field line. Pretty well hit. Brandon Jones, though, with room on the track and makes the catch. Pujols tagging up from first to second.
How about that?
A lot of times I think he's just able to do that because he takes people by surprise, and by this time in his career they should know.
Well, that's it. I mean, he saw, you could see that, you read the ball out there, he sees it's going to stay in the park, so he immediately goes back. He had, when you see him run like that to get back to the bag, he knew exactly in his mind he was going to advance. And there for a minute, the left fielder, right about a split second before he caught it, he kind of looked up like you thought maybe he lost it in the high sky.
Here's Troy Gloss, looks at a strike. The scout report, though, as you well know, Al, should tell you if Pujols is on base, he's always looking to take the extra base. Don't take it for granted.
Exactly right. And you know, there's a prime example. He's kind of in the corner. He's near the warning track. It would take an exceptional throw to be able to throw him out. And that outfielder has to anticipate that he's going to tag up.
Reyes steps off the pitching rubber. 1 out, runner in scoring position. This has been an area where the Cardinals have thrived lately as well.
Yeah, they come in with in this series, a .474 batting average against the Braves.
Here we are on August 24th, and if I would have told you that Troy Gloss would be basically playing every day and having only committed 5 errors, you'd think you're crazy. 5 errors, that's it.
He leads the highest fielding percentage by a major league third baseman.
Mike Lowell holds the National League record for fewest errors by a third baseman. 6 was back in 2005. Franchise record, Kenny Reitz, 8 back in 1980.
And right now, he's challenging Reitz's fielding percentage record at third base. he would break it if he continues at this pace.
Really had a good year.
21 home runs, 84 RBIs at 277. It's probably even a little higher batting average than what you'd expect from it.
Inside to Gloss. And some around baseball have been pleasantly surprised that Gloss has been healthy this entire year too, and I'm sure the transition from artificial turf to natural grass has something to do with that. But bottom line, he's playing every day, just about every inning. 2-2. Gloss hits it down the right field line, but that'll slice foul and out of play. Reach's fielding percentage was .980, set back in 1977.
And see at .984, I think Gloss right now. .985 fielding percentage.
Cardinals, by the way, when they win, they're hitting .328 with runners in scoring position. Pujols is at second base. Big gap in left center. Pickoff play, and Albert is back in safely. 2-2 is the count on Troy Gloss. Arizona leads the National League West by 3 games now over the Dodgers. They'll play later tonight, Sunday Night Baseball. Colorado 9 games out. Cardinals, as we talked about, 8 games back of Chicago. Milwaukee 4.5 games out. And Gloss pulls it foul over the National League East. New York leads the Phillies by a game and a half. Patchwork pitching staff for Jerry Manuel. The Phillies a game and a half out, and Florida now 6 back. 2-2 on Troy Gloss. .2-2 is popped up. Gloss is out number 2.
See the need for the coaches to wear those batting helmets as you're kind of really concentrating on the runner out at second base. I have yet to hear a third base coach that is happy with that decision. But it is a safety factor that we all have to understand after Mike Coolbaugh was tragically killed by a foul ball coaching first base in the minor leagues last year.
And I'm with you. I've talked to a number of coaches. They don't like it, but to me, what's the big deal? You're wearing a helmet as opposed to a hat.
At one time, they didn't wear helmets at batting.
Which is not that big a deal.
Don Zimmer was one of the reasons that he had a fractured skull.
Molina singled up the middle his first time up.
He used to wear these little liners that, they offered no protection.
Here's a 2-0 pitch. And when you first started, wool uniforms.
Wool. Yeah, I had the wool uniform.
It's nice and cool.
Oh, yeah. Real cool.
Drop about 20 pounds.
A starting pitcher would drop probably about 12 pounds. And it would weigh about 12 pounds when you got through.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Probably nothing was worse, though, than playing the middle of August in St. Louis on the turf.
Oh, it just 145 degrees. You'd be down in the dugout, and sometimes the heat waves would rise so high you had trouble seeing the outfielder.
3-1 pitch. He was ready for it. 3-2.
Lou Brock had such trouble with his feet heating up that if you played a doubleheader, there were times where about the 7th inning Lou would go out to the left field, and then you'd see him up against the wall waving for help me. On the turf too, the spikes would melt.
Jojo Reyes, odd finish on that pitch, and he walks Molina.
He slipped on his landing area.
And it's the second walk issued to the Cardinals here this afternoon.
Watch him go out there and you see his foot stumbled on his landing area. Lucky he didn't hurt himself.
Here's Aaron Miles. Now the Cardinals and Looper, it looked to me, Al, that they were pitching around Jeff Francoeur to an extent to get to Jojo Reyes, and then Reyes burned him back into second. And here's one of those situations where you have the pitcher batting eighth. Benefited the Cardinals in the second with a sacrifice by Looper, but now you've had Looper on deck. How do you want to pitch to Miles?
I mean, that's what I'm saying is as a pitcher, you've got to feel that you can go right through the bottom third of that order. That's where you've got to dominate. And if you got an eighth place hitter up there, you really can, instead of just saying I'm going to dominate, that's when you really bear down and concentrate to eliminate that guy. And then you've got the third out of the inning and the pitcher leading off next inning. You've got a great start to having another scoreless inning. But sometimes it's just so simple to say, oh, I'm a pitch around that eighth place guy, bring up the pitcher, because it's an automatic out. And if you're carelessly thinking that way, a bloop hit here or there, and all of a sudden you lose a ball game.
1-1 pitch. Miles, right side, spinning and making the play is Omar Infante. Cardinals strand 2. They have stranded 3, and we have played 3 innings here at Busch Stadium. Nice play by Infante to take the hit away from Aaron Miles. It's 4-3. Top of the 4th, and it's 4-3 St. Louis. That dog must be ready for a celebration of postseason play. Talk to Jeff Suppan. Get the goggles ready. Remember that when the starters all got together?
I'm right with you. That's a veteran move.
Even the dogs are involved in the champagne celebration.
You got into some of these dog specialty stores?
No, I haven't, Al, not recently.
You have the golden retrievers.
Yes.
But,
2 of them.
You get, the girls have smaller dogs, and some of the outfits that they get and some of the stuff, it's unbelievable.
My mom's, she's got a poodle. The poodle's nails are immaculate.
She has a poodle and 2 sons.
What do you want me to say to that, Al? 3-1. You got any more Mickey Rivers stories?
Knowing your mother, I'm just trying to see how she would rank the order of the poodle and 2 sons.
Depends on what's going on that day. 3-2.
So you can finish tied for second?
Probably. You don't have much of a backbone. I mean, you play this big tough guy, but all I hear about is I don't get to watch anything at home. The girls always are making sure they watch what they want to watch. You got to see my dogs with the outfits I have to buy. You know what?
I didn't say what I have to buy.
Stand up for yourself.
Back to baseball.
Who's hitting? This is Martin Prado. Marge Gibson is here from Decatur, Illinois. Wanted to say hi.
Hi, Marge.
And Sean and Tanya celebrating their 9th wedding anniversary and Tanya's 30th birthday. This date in history, just continuing with our theme of oddities. August 24th, 1941, 5 musicians make their debut in a doubleheader between the Cards and Dodgers, but apparently none of the musicians could read music. Not sure where we found that.
Doug Stanton found it, though, right?
I'm sure he did. Here's a 3-2 pitch to Prado. Backhanded nicely by Aaron Miles. He makes the play for the first out. And Prado is 1 for 2. Nice play here by Miles.
Ground ball. Backhand. Sets himself. A little crow hop to get under control. And a strike over to Albert. Boy, wherever he plays, he's never going to embarrass you, is he?
No, he plays just about everywhere, it seems like, for the Cardinals, even a little bit of outfield this year. There's a base hit for Brandon Jones. And you can stop by the Kraft product displays at your local Deerberg's grocery store to enter for your chance to win the Kraft Triple Play Barbecue. The Kraft Barbecue includes game day tickets and an appearance by 2 Cardinals players. Stop by Deerberg's for your chance to have a barbecue with the Cardinals. So that's a 1-out single. And here is the free swinger, Jeff Rancourt. Walked and scored his first time up. There's a strike on the outside corner. It's been a down year for Rancourt, hitting only .228 with 10 home runs and 57 RBIs. Oh, 1 pitch. Foul tip. Jeff Rancourt, local product, and Al, you and I were talking to some of the folks, some of the fans of the Braves that have been in that area for a number of years, and they said that he might be the best all-around athlete to become a major league player. As he played football, he was also a basketball player, but they say all around in high school may be the best athlete to come out of that area.
And now some of those same people are saying they don't know if he's going to truly be as good as they thought he would be.
Here's a double play ball. Isturis takes it himself over to Albert. Double play. Looper, Barton, Isturis coming up. College football season starts in just 4 days, and FSN will have more Big 12 coverage than ever. 19 Big 12 games in high definition, plus game replays, preview, and post-game shows and more. FSN is the home of Big 12 football all season long. 4-3 St. Louis.
We just got a word. Kevin Wade, who is a longtime Cardinal employee, is in intensive care at Barnes Hospital, and we want to pass word along. You know, Kevin, good guy. Remember him for many, many years. Longtime employee here, and hope he's doing speedy recovery. I know he has a lot of friends that wishing Kevin well.
Includes us. He was here a long time. Intensive care at Barnes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know any more of the details, but just talking with people last night, you know, that it moved back to the St. Louis area, and we're talking about the great hospital care and all the great hospitals we have here. And you know, we always, I mentioned, I said, oh, we got some of the greatest children's hospitals here. He goes, well, you get great all-around hospitals, and Barnes one of the greatest.
2 balls and 1 strike on Looper. Eighth place hitter, 2-2. Looper sacrificed his first time up. Two balls, 2 strikes. And he fouls that out of play. Two pitch. Tim Garcia providing some information from home today. Appreciate his input on the telecast. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Looper with Barton to follow, and Isturis. Heading into today, Looper had allowed just 9 earned runs in his last 6 starts, a 2.03 ERA, but his record only 2-3. Reason why the Cardinals have scored only a combined 4 runs in those 3 losses. That's it.
He's pitched so well, and
Looper hits it to the left side, and Chipper Jones is there to make the play.
this is the first time in about 7 starts that he's allowed more than 2 runs in a start.
JoJo Reyes will face Brian Barton. Picked up a double and 2 RBIs back in the second. Give the Cardinals this 4-3 lead. Beautiful day here in St. Louis. Some decisions coming up for the Cardinals. Rosters will expand in September. We'll see what direction the Cardinals want to go with as far as some of those roster selections as they expand in September. Oh, 1 pitch. It's a reward for many of those players that have put in a good year down in the minor leagues, and also a chance for the prospects to get a taste of major league life.
Sure. You know, if you're in a pennant race, you really don't want to cloud your.
Barton, base hit into right.
You really don't want to bring up a lot of guys and make it a distraction when the team is going for stuff. But so everyone's going to have a little bit of a role, some way they can help, whether it's speed off the bench in a base running situation. Barton already 2 hits here, and he had the big one. There's another situation. Kochman is on bereavement leave, so you know their normal first baseman is not available. Prado playing out of position. We've seen Infante Friday night and the night before was playing out of position in left field. So these are some of the things we've talked about with Bobby Cox. Hey, we want to pass along happy 55th birthday to Sergeant Bill Bowman of the St. Peter's Police Force, good friend of the truck.
Isturis, the leadoff man today, is 0 for 2. Grounded back to the pitcher and also grounded to first. One of those players that could be called up, as we mentioned before. AAA infielder Brian Barton hit .265 in 8 games with Team USA, the Olympics. He's only 27, hitting close to 300 this year at Memphis.
How about Josh Phelps?
What a year he's had.
You know, there's a guy with major league experience, and you know has had a remarkable year and good power numbers at AAA. But you know another guy has caught my attention down there that I don't think we've ever mentioned, and he's a St. Louis, and is Freeze,
the third baseman they picked up from San Diego. Thrown away, yes. Barton advances to third. Isturis to second. Francoeur aggressive with the play, rushed the throw and threw wide.
Well, he thought he had a shot, and Francoeur has gotten a lot of assists since he's gotten called up to the big leagues, but he just committed his 4th error. Watch Barton, the runner. He gets right in between. He's one sure. So there was a legitimate shot to throw him out with a good throw, but the throw is wide. Second base gets by, and Chipper Jones has to retrieve it, vacating third base, allowing Barton to go on to third, and this Tourist to go to second.
We showed that graphic, 55 outfield assists since June of 2005 for Jeff Francoeur. As Mather pops it up, but that'll find the seats out of play. Sometimes, and I think we saw maybe a little bit with Rick Ankiel, you fall in love with the arm that you get almost too aggressive at times.
Good point. You're absolutely right. And I mean, and there was a distinct opportunity to get an assist, but rush your throw a little offline. And Rick, as you said, you know, as great as those throws were in Colorado, he's probably made more poor throws since that time, trying to duplicate that evening. And a lot of times not using proper judgment.
Mather, high fly ball into shallow right center. Francoeur will take it. Barton will tag up, and the throw will come into the shortstop. A run will score. 5-3 St. Louis. Take a look at our Fruit of the Loom feel for the game. Albert Pujols shows a feel for the game, brought to you by Fruit of the Loom and his 2 swings today.
Whether he's hitting a home run or just getting a base hit, you kind of see that patented follow through, just the balance in his stance, and they've seen enough of Albert.
I don't blame him. It's RBI number 16 for Joe Mather. Intentional walk to Albert Pujols here.
He leads the major leagues in intentional passes.
It's number 29. And Pujols on the year now with 84 walks and on base for the 3rd time today. On base percentage is on the rise for Pujols. He came into play at .462.
Yeah, he was second at the start of this series to Chipper Jones. So he's not only passed him in on base percentage, he's also passed him in batting average.
And here's Ludwig
out to talk to his young pitcher.
Let's take a look at our Bud Light What's on Tap. Bud Light keeps it coming. As they visit on the mound, Brewers and Cardinals, all important series. Only 2 games left between the 2 teams. We'll have it for you Tuesday and Wednesday, both games beginning at 6 with our pregame show. Brewers and Cardinals Tuesday at 6.
You know, it really doesn't matter. I mean, obviously you want to win this game. You want to win that 2-game series. But you have to stay close because there's a lot of games between the Cubs and the Brewers in the last 2 weeks of the season. There's 2 series, a home and away series between those 2 clubs. So even in the last week of the season, you got a chance to leapfrog over somebody.
Now it's Ludwig. First pitch, good cut, fouled back. He has flied to center and flied to left, 0 for 2. What has been a breakout year for Ryan Ludwig. You feel good about the outfield, the future of it with the Cardinals, with Ludwig, Antiel, Schumacher, Colby Rasmus, Mather, Duncan. On 1 pitch. If they deal, you get the feeling how they'd be dealing from a position of strength in the organization.
Well, that's it. And you know, you have strength in one area, get you the opportunity to improve your ball club through that strength of outfielders.
Here's a 1-1. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. More people turning to developing their own talent, promoting through the system. And with Jeff Luhnow, they've been aggressively promoting guys that have had good years and trying to push the envelope a little bit with some of those players. 2-1 is popped up to the right side. Prado runs out of room and no play. Great effort, though.
Nice effort, goes over the tarp, and then there was just an opening right there. No seats to push him back in, but Bobby Cox and even the Cardinal fans appreciate a young player giving that type of effort.
Second look here, Suntrup.com, brought to you by the Suntrup Automotive Group.
You can see you're running, all of a sudden you run into the tarp, and it's about 3 foot high, maybe a little less. You went right over the top of it. Wow, Overbay got.
Remember that?
The old stadium, right?
That's right. Strikeout of Ludwig. The Cardinals will strand 2 in this inning. They pick up a run, and they lead it 5-3. Top of the 5th, we're back in St. Louis. Gorgeous day for baseball, and it's 5-3 in favor of the Cardinals. Let's go pitch by pitch on Ryan Ludwig, brought to you by Chevrolet.
Well, it just starts out fastball away, now fastball in, back outside. Right in the middle, he pops it up in foul territory, and then he gets him to chase one up above. Just looked like all fastballs in that sequence. And Ryan eventually got himself out, swinging a pitch out of the strike zone.
Bottom of the 5th, and the Pirates lead Milwaukee by the score of 1-0. Barton will back up a step or 2, makes the play, and JoJo Reyes is the first out here in the top of the 5th. Only issues for Looper was really back in that 2nd inning when he gave up the 3 runs. Outside of that, the other 3 innings very solid. Had 2 1-2-3 innings, and then last inning gave up a 1-out single, and that was erased on a double play.
And you know he's kicking himself after pitching around Francoeur and allowing the 2 RBI base hit to the pitcher.
Here's Blanco, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Strike at the knees. 2 RBIs for Reyes, 1 for Blanco, and that's the 3 runs for the Atlanta Braves. Let's see where the third baseman, Troy Gloss of the Cardinals, is playing in a couple of steps on the grass, and the outfield for the most part is straight away.
Blanco leads the team with 25 infield hits and 15 bunt singles. 15 bunt singles is 2nd best in the National League.
1-2 the count. See where Pujols is playing. Couple of steps off the line. And a swing and a miss held on to by Molina. And Blanco strikes out. Not sure anybody in the stadium knew that it was a strikeout outside of Looper and Molina. No reaction from the crowd. Late reaction from Gregor Blanco.
Bottom fell out of that pitch. Makes you believe it was the splitter.
Fourth strikeout for Looper, and here's Yunel Escobar. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to short and also grounded out to third. The Cardinals coming up will have Gloss, Molina, and Miles. They're half of the fifth. The way these guys have been pitching, it's tough to say even if Carpenter was healthy, who would be bumped from this rotation. Be a tough decision.
That's why Tony was talking about. You know, that Wainwright will get the next start, but told Pinheiro to act like he's ready for a start also.
Did you see that shot with all the popcorn? Horton was ready. We had a shot the other night where Bernie Miklas and Derek Gould are pounding away at their keyboard, working hard, and right on cue, they're eating popcorn. Jim Hayes is eating up there. Pat Barris.
Jim Hayes was looking for a little bowl of milk.
Little kitty. Of course, the ever-present Skip Irwin as well. 2-2 pitch. And it's a full count on Escobar.
Wonder how their breakfast went today.
You know, they met early today to dissect Game 3 of the series. Did Ricky and Skip. There's a base hit into right. No, it'll hang up there for Ludwig. Baseball on FSM Midwest is brought to you by Rico. Move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. And by your Missouri, Illinois Dodge dealers. John Goss is here with us up in the booth and enjoying Cardinal baseball on a gorgeous afternoon here in St. Louis.
He's negotiating a contract.
Future broadcaster, we understand, of the St. Louis Cardinals. It's been nice working with you, Al.
Now they're getting younger.
Yes, they are. I can even say that now.
Yes, you can.
First pitch to Gloss was a strike at the knees. Detroit leads Kansas City 3-2. Yankees on top of Baltimore 7-5. No balls and 2 strikes. See, John thought he was just coming up here to kind of see what this was all about. He's actually going to be on the air. That's backhanded, nicely done by Chipper Jones. Audition time, and you go ahead and read this, will you please?
This year, when you can't be home to watch the Cardinals on FSN, check out MLB.tv. You can go online to watch every out-of-market Cards game of the season live. For details, visit stlouiscardinals.com, where baseball is always on.
I'm
hey,
done.
Partner.
That's
hey,
it.
Partner.
I'm out of here. Nicely done.
You're pretty good at carrying my bags because Dan, you know, does a great job.
Don't listen to that. But make sure you pay for dinners.
We fixed my handles that you broke.
I don't do the bags. I definitely do the dinners. I'm not saying you're cheap or anything, though, Al. I wouldn't say that.
The only time you pay for my dinner is when I'm not with you.
That's not true, Al. John,
we've had a very good sharing program together, haven't we?
It's been very good with dinners, yes. 3-0 the count on Molina. And Yachty takes a strike at the knees. Here's a 3-1 pitch. JoJo Reyes to Molina. He's been on base twice. Pitch is popped up. McCann. Oh, what a play by Brian McCann. Outstanding effort from an all-star catcher. I would imagine this replay is going to come right at you. Let's see what they pick down in the truck.
Popped it up. Yachty looking for it. Here comes McCann right into your living room. Holds on to that ball.
Suntrip.com cam brought to you by the Suntrip Automotive Group.
Even Tony felt like he had to go over there and try and save a competitor. James wasn't going to let him fall into the pit.
James was protected by the camera, Al.
Well, he wasn't going to let him fall into the pit either.
You sure about that, James? I'm not so sure. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is pretty well hit in the center, but that'll hang up there for Blanco. He makes the catch. And Miles is 1 for 3. Brian McCann. Nice play by the Cardinals dugout. Cardinals with a 5-3 lead. And Looper goes back to work. Chipper Jones, Brian McCann, and Omar Infante here in the 6th. He'll face 3, 4, and 5 in this lineup. If Yadier Molina holds on, he'll be the first Cardinals catcher to start 100+ games and hit over 300 since your teammate Ted Simmons accomplished that feat back in 1980. Hit 303 that year. Wouldn't that be something? See Molina do that.
You know, it's the dog days of August and then a long September. Just takes a toll a lot of times on those catchers that final month. So let's hope he can. And he does a great job of staying in shape and being ready every year.
Two balls and 1 strike on Chipper Jones, now hitting 358. Pujols is at 359. Chipper Jones has had just a fabulous career. Switch hitter, and he draws a walk. So Looper on the afternoon has walked 2.
That's what he averages for 9 innings, right around that. 2 walks per 9 innings, one of the better control pitchers in the National League.
Well, you knew Chipper Jones was going to come down off that 400+ average. Started the year, first 57 games, hitting 421. And now just below 360. McCann looks at a strike. Tying run at the plate. We're in the 6th inning.
Play the outfield in the same for Chipper Jones and McCann. They swing him around a little bit to pull the ball into right center. Mather playing extremely deep. Now I know he have 21 home runs, but it just seemed like awfully deep in center field.
The high fly ball into shallow center.
Told you he'd have to come in.
Mather comes in, makes the catch for the first out. Cardinals have turned a double play. They could use one right here and send us to the bottom half of this inning. Cubs lead Washington 3-1. That's in the bottom of the 6th. Pirates still leading Milwaukee 1-0, bottom of the 6th. Tampa Bay tied up with the White Sox. It's 4-4. That's in the top of the 7th. Astros and Mets tied up 4-4, top of the 9th. Omar Infante, 1-out runner at first. Hit by a pitch and scored. And the only play for Looper here to fire to first, and they get him by a step.
Nice play by Looper.
Looper's a good athlete. It's something that has followed him through his high school and college days and here to the pros.
And you know, that's something that as a pitcher, you don't have to be a good athlete. Now, it's very helpful if you are, that you can swing the bat, field your position, run the bases, little things that'll help you in a victory. But a pitcher really only needs one quality, and that's an exceptional arm.
Final look there at the suntrip.com cam shows us it out by about a half step or so. Looper was a multiple sports star in high school, played at Wichita State. Of course, his uncle has a history in the game too.
Benny Looper. Saw Benny in the minor leagues in the Cardinal organization. He was a catcher and then went on to be a very successful scout.
Oh, 1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's taken a little bit low. Runner at second base, 5-3 Cardinals. Redbirds picked up 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, and another in the fourth. Ball's behind, 3-1. Let's see where Looper kind of just feeling around the mound with his foot. Maybe just not real comfortable right there with the pitching rubber.
His tempo has kind of changed 2 or 3 different times in this game. Pitch count still not bad. That was only the 82nd pitch of the afternoon. Usually has a little better strike to ball ratio. 82 pitches, 48 strikes.
And that's a base hit into right. They will test Ludwig. Fires to the plate. It's in time. Got him. He got him. Jones thrown out at the plate by Ludwig, the all-star in right. The tag by Yadier Molina. A base hit by Prado. He's now 2 for 3. Did he sneak in there, or was the tag there? They have just gotten him. Take a look at the throw here by Ludwig, with the Cardinals leading 5-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Couple of hops. The tag was there, just 1 hop.
Well, the throw was a little bit late, but does his foot get to the home plate as he tries to go around the tag? You see Molina throw that left leg out there and make him go around it, and it looks like,
ooh.
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell if he touches home plate or not. If he touched home plate, it looked like he's safe, but you can't argue with the position of Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, and we may have seen the shadow touch home plate and the toe still up.
Cardinals, by the way, will start Adam Wainwright again. They still haven't officially said he's in the rotation.
But he makes another start.
But he'll make another start, just like the guy at the end of the games isn't officially the closer. Todd Wellemeyer, Ben Sheets, Tuesday night. Good seats still available. Adam Wainwright and Manny Parra in game 2. Chipper Jones has it. And again, great seats still remain. The Cardinals and the Brewers. Final time they'll meet in 2008. Central Division Showdown, August 26th, Wednesday, August 27th here at Busch. Get your tickets today at stlcardinals.com. The Cardinals, well, they get another day off tomorrow. And then they'll get another day off on Thursday.
And we're not complaining.
Todd Wellemeyer goes Tuesday, Wainwright on Wednesday. Barton puts down the bunt, and that's a base hit. And Brian Barton in this start is now 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run scored.
He's got good speed, so good to see him drop down the bunt. See how Chipper tries to barehand it, hand wide open. You got to get it into the palm of your hand and then it rolled down to the fingertips for the throw. Well, that one was offline, just got the index finger, and see if Barton didn't hurt himself.
You see Dave McKay motion to the dugout to get Barry Weinberg out. Remember, he's been dealing with that problem with his wrist, and you wouldn't figure that would be the problem here running down the baseline.
No, I think he pointed either as, you know, the hamstring or something, or he's going to come out of this game.
He's
It just
limping
been
a
a
little bit,
cramp, you know, and not getting a lot of playing time. But it's something indicated as something like running down the baseline. He felt something grab, and Schumacher is going to go into this ball game. Going down the line, you remember he ran awfully, you know, he's like reluctant to stop. See how far he goes by, and that's a little bit odd. So he must have felt something and didn't want to make a sudden stop. And hopefully it's more a cramp or just grabbed it, a little precautionary, get some treatment, and he'll be okay with the day off tomorrow.
It's a situation, too, you're starting to get later into this game, and probably a move would have been made anyway to get Schumacher into the game for defensive purposes. It's Turris with one out and a runner at first. Cesar's in the leadoff spot. He's 1 for 3 and looks at a strike. Activity, a right-hander throwing for the Braves in their bullpen. Nobody for St. Louis.
Blaine Boyer is throwing in the bullpen.
JoJo Reyes, here's pitch number 98 from the lefty. Taken a little bit high.
Now that's one of the things that they felt that they were going to get to JoJo Reyes, because he's had a tendency to get a lot of balls up. Balls up are hittable.
Big gap in left center. Strike 2 with Mather on deck. We're in the 6th. It's 5-3 St. Louis. Can't say it enough. Good seats remaining for Tuesday and Wednesday. We'd love to see sold-out crowds here at Busch Stadium for that all-important 2 games against Milwaukee. Up and in. Wellemeyer and Sheets, game 1. Wainwright and Manny Parra in game 2. Parra is a 10-game winner. Now, Ben Sheets has been very good this year with 11 wins, but the Cardinals historically have hit him very well.
I mean, he can be as tough as anyone in the game, but you're right, they have dominated against him. And it seems like since CC Sabathia has come to the Milwaukee, you know, Ben Sheets has not been as dominant as we've seen him at times.
Turris strikes out, 2 away. Cardinals catch a break in not seeing Sabathia in those 2 games. Here's Joe Mather. Mather with an RBI, his 16th. Also walked and scored, part of that 2-run first on the home run by Albert.
0 for 1. He had another pinch hit, base hit yesterday.
Mather, left center, and that gets down. To the wall it goes. Schumacher being waved in. He will score. 6-3 Cardinals. Mather comes through with a 2-out double. His second RBI on the day.
17 on the year. So Mather. Schumacher went into pinch run and pitch up on the inner part, just belted out there, and Schumacher able to run, and boy, are they really booing now. Look what's happening after Schumacher scores on the RBI double. We get another intentional walk to Albert Pujols.
30th on the year, 2nd in the game. And as far as walks this season, that's now 85 handed out to Albert Pujols. So they will pitch to Ludwig. Last time it paid off as they struck him out.
Albert go for 3 on the day, but we've seen at times, you know, that he struggles or has trouble against the lefties, but they're going to make a pitching change and watch him get a base hit off the right-handed pitcher.
talked about, though, Ludwig, it's that odd combination of throwing left, batting right, and hitting right-handers very well this year as opposed to the lefties. A chance to do some damage when we return. Chevrolet called to the bullpen. 69th appearance for Blaine Boyer, who's 2-6 with an ERA over 5. Bobby Cox has used him a lot. Here's another example of one of those young players from the Atlanta area pitching for the Atlanta Braves. He witnessed that great run by Atlanta, and Bobby Cox, over a decade of dominance, winning their division and getting into postseason play.
69 appearances were second most in the major leagues.
First pitch is taken outside.
Used an awful lot, but Blaine Boyer has struggled of late. For his last 14 games, he's allowed 15 earned runs and 16 hits, including 4 home runs.
2 runners on and 2 outs for Ludwig. 6-3 Cardinals. Popped up, and Boyer's going to get out of this jam. On the infield, shortstop wants it. That's Escobar, and he puts it away. Cardinals have stranded 7. They pick up a run, and it's 6-3. Bray Looper in our Geico quote, I feel good, but it just seems like that hasn't been quite good enough. I have to continue to work and continue to go out there and put up zeros. Well, he's been fine. It's been the offense that in his starts recently that has struggled, but not today. 9 hits and 6 runs for the Cardinals. They lead it 6-3 here in the 7th. Brandon Jones leads it off for Bobby Cox's club, and that's fouled back. Rick Hummel had I believe it was Rick Hummel in the post today. Had a little take on comparing the Yankees and the Braves. This could be the first time in a number of years the Yankees don't make it to postseason play. But the one thing that you think about with New York, they've had, what, 13 seasons? And the Braves had 14 years in a row in which they made it to the postseason. The Braves will go out and spend some money this offseason, but you know the Yankees will do it no matter what.
Yeah, the Yankees are going to spend. They're on record. Hank Steinbrenner said that, kind of acknowledged that with all their injuries, not blaming anybody.
Popped up left side. Troy Gloss. But how about Hank Steinbrenner coming out and saying, you know, essentially it's okay, and you know, we'll take a pass on this year, and next year's the year before even September rolls in. Right? I mean, there's some pretty good talent on that team to make a run.
Well, I think realistically they're 10.5 games back in the division. They're struggling pitching wise.
Yeah, I don't even look at the division. I'm just thinking wild card.
Well, the wild card, I think they're still going to have to struggle there too. Wild card in the American League, they're 5 games back in 3rd place behind Boston and Chicago.
Taken by Miles for out number 2. How about Tampa Bay? They are for real at 79 and 49 on the year.
And if people kind of question whether they'd win when they lost a couple of their big players, and they've been able to, they're 8-2 in their last 10.
Here's Norton. He'll pinch hit. Pinch hits for Blaine Boyer, who got the final out in the bottom of the 6th.
Norton, last 3 pinch hitting appearance is 2 hits and a walk. Home run on Friday night. Got the big 2-run base hit in yesterday's game, and the 8th inning off of McClellan to give them the lead.
Hitting .314 as a pinch hitter this year. Off a looper, barehanded by his tourist, but no play. If he lets it go, play is probably made by his tourist. He was playing towards the bag. So Norton has been outstanding as a pinch hitter in this series. 2-out base hit.
Another base hit right here, and just slowed it up. And then it's a do or die play for his tourist. But as your competitive nature, you force yourself to try and make that play if you're the pitcher. And in this case, it probably cost him a base hit.
Gregor Blanco with an RBI single back in the 2nd, top of the lineup again. It's pitch number 93 from Looper. Cardinals will have Gloss, Molina, and Miles coming up. And a question for Tony La Russa, depending on what happens here with Blanco. How deep does he want to go with Looper today?
He's got Jaime Garcia warming up right now. The Braves are going to bring Acosta in. Just came off the disabled list to pitch next inning.
Quickly, 2 strikes now on Blanco. Nothing in 2 in the count. Short lead at first by Norton. 1-2. Looper on the day has walked just 2. He has struck out 4 and given up just 6 base hits.
He's had 95 pitches. Get out of this 7th inning.
And that's fouled back.
Off day tomorrow. Wouldn't hurt to use a reliever or 2, close out this ball game, and 7 innings would be continue that string of going 7 innings in a contest for 6 straight starts.
Milwaukee and Pittsburgh tied up at 2-2. The Pirates have tied it up with a run in the 7th. A strikeout. Gregor Blanco, 3rd time he's gotten them today. Time to stretch here at Busch Stadium. Mary Keefe is today's merchandise winner, the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th. Mary Keefe qualifies for the Hyundai Sonata drawing in September.
It's okay.
To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. Pooches in the Park Day. Manny Acosta, fresh off the DL. Our Chevrolet called to the bullpen. 3 saves on this year and a record of 3-5. 42nd appearance on the year, and he'll face Cardinal 3rd baseman Troy Gloss to lead off the Cardinals half of the 7th.
There's 39 games with a strained hamstring.
See him stretching, trying to get loose before his first pitch here to Troy Gloss. Cardinals lead it 6-3. Glad you're with us here on FSN. A beautiful day from Busch Stadium. Just gorgeous. One-0 pitch to Gloss. Taken low and away. See, it's a big crowd on this Sunday afternoon. And perfect weather for baseball. Right-hander is up and throwing for the Cardinals in the bullpen.
Looks like Looper and Springer and Jaime Garcia still standing around there. You know, it wouldn't hurt for Chris Perez to get into this game here today. Pitched 9th inning, whether it's a save or not.
Register to win the fan frenzy here at Busch Stadium. Acosta will have it for the first out. It's your chance to win a 2-minute race through the official Cardinals team store with the opportunity to grab all the Redbird gear you can carry. For more information, stop by the team store right here at Busch Stadium. It's open 7 days a week. Here's Molina. The loss is over 4. Molina on base a couple of times with a single and a walk. He also popped out to Brian McCann. Very fine play by the Cardinals dugout. And a swing and a miss by Molina.
He's hit over 500 this year against the Atlanta Braves.
Outfield shades him a little bit to the opposite way. They do in center. 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. just misses low and away. And a grounder hit to short. 2 outs. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a look around baseball and the scoreboard here at the ballpark. Aaron Miles with a fly ball into shallow right, base hit. Falls in front of Jeff Rancourt. Aaron Miles is hitting close to .350, Al, at home this season and .290 on the road.
He just picks up 2 more hits. He's 2 for 4. That adds to his .325 batting average, and when he starts a game, it just, you know, I mean, the only knock you can say is, well, he doesn't get a lot of extra base hits, but he finds himself on base, and in this case, ahead of Rick Ankiel, who will pinch hit here for Looper. Nice job by Braden.
Well, the lefty starting Ankiel was on the bench at the beginning of our game today. And pretty much all he could do was pinch hit that abdominal injury. The Cardinals never put him on the DL. Ankiel is a pinch hitter. This season is 3 for 13. 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Looper has a chance to pick up the win, which would be number 12.
Just tie his career high of 12 last season, his first year ever as a starter. And Ankiel just 2 for 11 on the homestand.
1-0 pitch to Rick. And to think that the Cardinals got 9 wins, I believe, from Looper as a reliever in his first season. That's pretty good value in that contract. Wild pitch charged to Acosta. 2 balls and no strikes on Rick Ankiel.
Looper much more consistent this year. And, you know, those games where he kind of would get away from him last year early, he's been able to fight through it and find something to keep him competitive. And this year it's been fun to watch him pick up what we hope is his 12th win.
Keel reaches for the pitch. 7 innings, 6 hits for Looper. That's all he allowed. 3 earned runs. And a chance at win number 12 today. 2 balls, 1 strike on Rick Ankiel. The outfield is deep. Schumacher on deck. Ankiel, a ground ball hit sharply to second. Cardinals strand a runner, their 8th of the day, sends us to the 8th. 6-3 St. Louis. Russ Springer will pitch the 8th inning for the Cardinals. Cardinals with 10 hits on the afternoon. They lead the ball game 6-3. Give Looper out a lot of credit. Another 7 innings from the right-hander. Another chance at a win. Gets a little run support today.
The first time in about 7 starts that Looper allowed more than 2 runs in a game, but for the 6th time he went 7 innings straight. And when you do that, the bullpen kind of settles into place and falls in place. You got Malone warming up behind Springer. Springer had a rare off day yesterday, but there was that little controversial play that was not made behind him, and got a couple earned runs. He's only pitched very, very well the last several months.
First pitch is swung on and missed. It's Escobar, Jones, and Brian McCann for the Braves here in the 8th inning. CC Sabathia lasted just 6 innings today for the Brewers. He threw 96 pitches. And they're tied up 2-2. Pittsburgh and Milwaukee. Shallow right, Ludwig. One away.
So CC had a relief outing, huh?
Yeah. How about Ned Yost? He took a lot of heat for the previous start, all the pitches. And as Ned Yost was pointing out, he said, you know, he's not throwing many pitches per inning. We felt comfortable, even though it was a 7-run lead, letting him stay in with a big lead. Malone coming in relief of Springer. Game recap for the Cardinals is brought to you by Jack in the Box, Pooches in the Park Day. They were out in full force all afternoon prior to the game. Some have even stuck around. Albert, another big day. A couple of intentional walks got things started with a 2-run homer. Ryan Barton, who has left this game with a right oblique strain, is on base 3 times, and the outfield assist from Ryan Ludwig to save a run. Turnaround Chipper Jones to hit from this side of the plate.
Chipper batting .394 when he faces a left-handed pitcher. Came in batting .342 facing right-handed pitchers. Ryan McCann, a lefty, on deck.
56th appearance for Ron Malone. But Chipper Jones, Al, is going to go down as one of the great switch hitters of all time.
Absolutely. And he's been very consistent for a long time. Future Hall of Famer in many people's eyes.
The 1-1 pitch. Check swing. Did not go.
Next home run for Chipper. Jones will match Hall of Famer Eddie Matthews, the only players in baseball history to start their career with 14 consecutive seasons of at least 20 home runs. He's hit 405, all under the watchful eyes of his manager, Bobby Cox.
2-2. And he's one of the players that's doing it and has done it in the steroid era, and we haven't heard his name linked with that at all.
Second all-time highest batting averages by a switch hitter, .310 coming in. Frankie Frisch is the leader at .316.
Two pitch. Left center, that's going to be a base hit. Extra bases coming up for Chipper Jones. 1-out double.
His next game will be 2,000 in his career. From the right side. Remember one time they said he didn't have a lot of power at all from the right side. He's improved as a hitter, but just still very quiet. Not a lot of movement. Not a little more than Albert, but still very sound fundamentally.
43,361. Another sellout today here at Busch Stadium.
Chris Perez now has gotten up.
We've seen that in save situations, albeit brief. You know, he's been fine with multiple innings. First ever was against the Dodgers, and that was a 5-out save.
Yeah, and he hasn't pitched since last Wednesday, and with the off day tomorrow and another one on Thursday, he needs to pitch in this game. That's why I was saying whether it's a save situation or not. It would be with the 3-run lead, but right now it's going to be one they classify as a tough save.
1-0 pitch to McCann, taken up and away. Cardinals wrap up the homestand with 2 against Milwaukee, and then we head to Houston and then Arizona. That's not an easy road trip coming up. Arizona, of course, leading out in the West, and Houston, as of late, playing pretty well. Cecil Cooper even felt they could get to 90 wins.
And they won today over New York. That'd be another late collapse by the Mets bullpen.
3-0. Malone on the verge of walking the tying run to the plate.
Well, I mean, Tony has been managed a long time, and you know, Springer, both the Malone and Springer pitched in yesterday's game. But Chipper Jones has more power from the left side. at the higher batting average right-handed.
Big gap in right center. 3-1 pitch to Brian McCann from Valone, and here it comes. Popped up. Outfield grass. Isturis.
See if Tony goes and get now. He's kind of trotting out. So whether he allows now he signals to bring in Perez for a 4-out save.
So Valone gave up the double to Jones. Gets McCann. Chris Perez coming in. Happy birthday to Sarah Dankoff. And she is celebrating it with her husband Mike today. They are season ticket holders. Sarah Dankoff, happy birthday. Here's Chris Perez in for the 30th time. 4 saves and 6 opportunities for the Cardinal right-hander. He throws smoke, and Dave Duncan was saying the other day to me, Al, that a lot of teams haven't seen him, so the fastball really catches up with him. And the thing they've been most impressed with as of late is his slider. Location and a little bit sharper.
I'm sure we'll see both of them in this, what we believe will be a 4-out save opportunity. He picked up saves in 3 of the 6 wins on the last road trip. Cardinals' 2nd-round pick of the June 06 draft. And the first player for St. Louis and 7th in the major leagues from that draft to make it to the bigs.
0-1 pitch. Fly ball. Ludwig. Plenty of room near the line. He's under it. Has it. Good work by Perez. 2 pitches. Gets out of the top of the 8th. Cardinals baseball on FSN is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. By Chevrolet. See for yourself. Shop and compare at STLChevy.com. And by Jack in the Box. We don't make it until you order it. Back at Busch Stadium, bottom of the 8th rolls in. Here's Skip Schumacher. First plate appearance of the afternoon came in for Barton. Right oblique strain for Barton after his 3-hit day. Second inning of work for Acosta. Taken on a short hop there by Prado. And that's the first out to start the Cardinals half of the 8th. Brings in Isturis. May snap Schumacher's 9-game hitting streak. We don't see him again.
If you're a Cardinal fan, you hope you don't.
Isturis and then Mather. If anybody can reach, Albert Pujols. Joe Simpson with a good look there on the left.
Now, what would possess you to do that? Have your hair on fire.
A base hit. And we may just see Albert one more time.
Will they walk him one more time?
They've walked him twice today.
Of course, if somebody wondered why I said we hope we don't see Schumacher men in this game, is because unless we bat around, which would be all right with me, we want to make sure the Cardinals win this game in regulation.
Here's Joe Mather. Mather with an RBI double. Pitch taken outside. A couple of RBIs today for Mather. Now with 17, also runs scored.
And by virtue of Chipper Jones's last base hit, he and Albert are tied now with that .359 average.
2 balls, no strikes. 1 out, runner at first. And the pitch is taken for a strike.
Costa, when he pitches 1 inning or more, has ERA at 2.20. When he pitches less than an inning, his ERA is 15.
And a check on Isturis. The 2-1 pitch. After a long look to Mather. A foul tip. Count of 2-2. And that's taken outside. Hardy's prime cut of the game. And Pujols will dig in with 2 runners on. And this is back in the first inning and a 2-run shot.
And the Cardinals a quick 2-0 lead. Then they got another base hit in the 3rd inning and then been intentionally passed twice. As Bobby Cox has seen enough from Albert in his great series. He is 8 for 10 in this series with 2 home runs. And I think they have to pitch to him now.
1 out. Runners at first and second for Pujols. Sitting on 28. Closing in on 90 RBIs.
Breaking ball right there for ball 1. As I said, he and Chipper right now are both tied for the National League batting title at 390 or 359 apiece.
2 balls, no strikes. Ludwig on deck. The 2-0 pitch to Albert Pujols. 3-0. The right-hander starting to throw for the Braves in the bullpen.
It's Nunez. Ludwig's had a tough day, but boy, he could open this game up if they walk Albert.
And Pujols fouls it back. Just below us.
Like Albert a little frustrated with the 2 previous walks. Wanted to have something to say in this at bat. Bobby Cox has won a lot of games. He's 4th on the all-time win list, chasing Tony La Russa.
Here's a 3-1 pitch to Albert Pujols. Here it comes. Walked him. So he walks for the 3rd time today. So the base is loaded for Ludwig.
Dow out to talk to him. It's a situation where Ryan Ludwig 0 for 4, but he just put that all aside and said, look at him. I'm sure after walking Albert, pitching coach just went out there and said, hey, don't be trying to be too fine. So you say to yourself, I'm not going to be too fine. I'm just going to look for a pitch right here in my zone. And if it's there, I'm going to pull the trigger on it. So see who does in the first pitch.
Base is loaded here. Ludwig last faced Boyer. First pitch to him. Outside. Ludwig with 31 home runs, hitting .305 and 95 driven in. Do some big time damage right here. Outfield is deep. 1-0 pitch. You thought he might jump on that pitch, knowing that the right-hander needed to get a strike after all the balls that Pujols saw in the first one in this at bat to Ludwig. Little bit high. 2-1.
And see, that's not his strength, that pitch up there. So
a lot of times you'll see him pop that up.
Right. And you know, we talked about too, you know, low ball hitter, and Jojo Reyes, you know, sometimes elevates the ball a lot. Oh, there's a breaking ball down, and he recognized it, but just didn't make contact with it.
Two and two in the count. Base is loaded for Ludwig. 6-3 St. Louis. Got him to chase and struck him out. Well, another guy that's had a tough afternoon is Troy Gloss, and that was a pretty good pitch there to Ludwig.
Oh yeah, just a good pitch. He chases it, as you said, but it's down, and 2-2. Got to protect the plate. Tough day for Ludwig. Troy Gloss has a chance to redeem himself for 2 outs. He's 0 for 4.
2 outs, bases loaded. Gloss, who has a grand slam this year, takes ball 1.
Been a while since Gloss has hit a home run. It was against Zambrano back on the 9th of this month. Still 2 home runs shy of 300.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Mike Cameron hits a solo home run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Puts the Brewers on top 3-2.
Tampa Bay trying to sweep the White Sox.
1-1 pitch.
In the 9th inning in south side of Chicago, with the Rays leading 5-4.
The 1-2 pitch to Troy Gloss. 2-2. Would that be something? You have Tampa Bay and Milwaukee in the World Series.
I think that if you placed a bet on those 2 teams at the beginning of the season,
making a lot of money.
You might need a truck to haul it off.
2-2 pitch. Check swing. Did not go. So here you go, partner. An exciting play in the game of baseball.
The merry-go-round.
2 outs. Full count. Bases loaded. the pitch that he got Ludwig to chase on. Struck him out.
Look at the way Acosta is thrown in this game. This will be ball 4. Actually thrown more balls out of the strike zone than in.
Here they go, and the pitch is hit sharply to third. Jones up with it, and that sends us to the ninth. 6-3 St. Louis.
Coming up after the game on U.S. Cellular, Cardinals Live, Pat Parris, Rick Horton going to break down another great start by Braden Looper. Also a monster weekend from Albert Pujols. And take a look at the remaining schedules of the Brewers, Cubs, and Cards. U.S. Cellular, Cardinals Live, guys.
Martin Prado leads it off for the Atlanta Braves. Move to the ninth, and it's 6-3 in favor of the Cardinals. Chris Perez got the final out in the top of the 8th. And a fastball is taken low and away. Prado. Then we'll see Brandon Jones and Jeff Rancourt. 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Prado today has singled and scored. He's grounded out to second. Singled back in the 6th. That pitch at 93.
3-0. Last thing you want to do is walk that leadoff man. He has been perfect since returning to the ball club and assuming the 9th inning. Isn't it tough not to say closer? But well, he has not been anointed that description.
Hasn't been given the title yet. 3-1 pitch. Comes back to get him. Grounder hit to second. 1 away. So after falling behind 3-0, he gets Prado. And here's Brandon Jones. You can see the makeup of a guy like Perez out, where he's done it in college before. Not a lot spooks him. You know, he's out there and he's pretty cool. He's pretty calm. He's pretty collected.
It's that same old story. If you believe you can do a job, you've got a chance. If you don't think you can, you know, you have no chance. And he believes that this is his best role.
There's the breaking ball at a strike. Have you seen the slider better than it was the first time that we saw him?
You know, I've seen his slider better than I've seen it this year. And it's just one of those situations where you have to use it to stay on top of it and get that movement.
Another chance at second. 2 away. And the Braves down to their final out. The Cardinals an out away from taking 2 of 3.
And remember, you know, a young pitcher like Perez is going to rely heavily on his catcher.
Take a look at the Budweiser player of the game. Budweiser, the great American lager. We'll turn it over to the Cardinals starter, Braden Looper.
7 innings from Looper today. First time in 7 starts that he's given up more than 2 runs, but it looks like he's in line for the victory. It would be number 12 for him. That would tie his career high.
Last pitch at 97. There's the slider. Quickly 2 strikes on Francoeur.
See, that was a good one after the fastball running in on a right-handed batter, then the slider going away.
Cardinals a strike away. They're in the top of the 9th. Milwaukee leads Pittsburgh 3-2. Check swing.
Ball was supposed to be down and away. He was up and in and got a check swing. Foul ball. That's okay. You know, you don't always throw your pitch like that. Put a little fear in the batter.
Here's the 0-2. Francoeur into center. Schumacher is there. Cardinals win it. Cardinals take 2 of 3. 6-3 our final. Stay with us. It's U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. Our post-game show coming up here on FSN Midwest.
The Cardinals with another win. They take the series. Rick Horton and I standing by right now to bring you U.S. Cellular Cardinals live. And a lot of great things from pitching to hitting. And Albert and Braden Looper all adds up to another victory.
Albert continues his hot hitting. What a homestand he has had. Brian Barton, well, he did a nice job here this afternoon as well. And Braden Looper, 7 straight quality starts for him.
He's been very impressive. Much more on all that coming up. Plus, we will break down Braden Looper. He's been oh so good lately, and he adds another one this afternoon against the Braves. Plus, Albert Pujols has been on a tear this weekend. Has he overtaken Chipper for the batting title yet? And we'll take you inside the Cardinal clubhouse. Bring you Tony La Russa's comments. Happy 47th birthday, Cal Ripken Jr. We're setting our own streak for television longevity. Coming up on U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live on FSN Midwest.
Welcome to U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live.
Whether by design or not, Albert Pujols sending a message to the National League. He wants the batting title. How about a first-inning 2-run shot? Sends a message to the Braves today that the Cardinals bats are back, and they go on to win this one 6-3 over the Braves and take the series 2-1. And Cardinals fans, well, they're heading out of Busch Stadium as you look at a live picture after the 6-3 victory over the Braves and the series win as well. Hello, everybody, and welcome back inside Busch Stadium. It's the post-game edition of U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. That's the former Cardinal hurler, Ricky Horton. I'm Pat Paris. Rick's going to break this one all down coming up. We'll talk Looper. We'll talk Pujols. We'll talk about a victory that keeps his Cardinal ball club in the hunt for the wild card. In fact, we'll show you later on just what they have ahead of them over this last 5+ weeks and now just 30 games in the season. And don't forget, you can get involved in this program as well. It is U.S. Cellular text time. Send us a Cardinal-related question at 37289. Remember to include your first name, where you're texting from in that message. Standard text messaging rates, of course, do apply. First things first, it's down to the field. Brent Stover moments ago catching up with Aaron Miles, our Mid-America Chevrolet Dealers Player of the Game. Brent?
Pat, thanks. That was a crisp, clean, well-pitched ball game today, Aaron.
Braden Looper's been doing it. He keeps on going out there and throwing up quality starts, and we got him a lot of runs today, and he deserved it because he's been pitching great, and it's great to get him a win. This is an important series victory for obvious reasons. Plus, you had the day off before it, and now another day off after it. We're getting a lot of rest, that's for sure, and you know, I don't think it's I think it's good for us. We're not missing out, you know. We're not losing out on reps, so it's something to recharge our team, and I think as long as we keep winning series, we're going to be fine. You haven't had a chance to play a ton lately, but you come out today, get a couple of hits. How do you stay sharp? Hey, just try to do the little things, man. You know, don't try to do too much, and just do the little things. It's something that I've been able to do my whole career, so just keep plugging away. By the way, I love it that in this day and age, you're still wearing the flip-ups. Oh yeah, I got it. I can't. I don't like the sunglasses, and you still see some guys wearing flip downs, so that's good. Appreciate it, Aaron. All right, man. Thanks. Aaron Miles. Pat, will send it back to you.
All right, Brent, thank you. And a man after Mike Shannon's heart. He always talks about the flip downs. He hates the Oakley styles of guys out on the
top
field.
Of the guy's head.
Yeah,
that's
they're on top of the head when the guy can't see. Aaron Miles, just another example of how this team has been able to get it done. Doesn't see a lot of action. It has been Felipe Lopez a lot, but Tony maybe going with a hunch, maybe just giving Felipe Lopez a break, and Miles gets the job done. So does Brian Barton.
Well, both those guys know how to be effective, particularly Aaron Miles. He just knows how to come off the bench and make his impact felt. You know, he's got an average over 300. He's been effective all year long. But Brian Barton, he was a bit of a surprise today, a pleasant surprise. Yep. He does have an oblique strain that we'll talk more about.
Yeah, and that's too bad because his day was going so well. Let's get back upstairs now, though. A view from the booth. Dan McLaughlin, Al Rabowski ready to put a wrap on a 6-3 victory and a 2-1 series victory over the Braves as well, guys.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Thanks, Ricky. And Al, when you look at a championship year, you've got to have contributions from guys up and down your lineup, and maybe some surprises along the way, too. And Cardinals have gotten contributions from a lot of young players, and that was certainly the case today.
Well, yeah, Barton was 3 for 3 before the strain, but Joe Mather did a nice job in the 4th inning. With Barton on base, he hits a sacrifice fly for his 16th RBI. And then later on in the 6th inning, he comes up and hits a double. And that's when Barton got his bunt single, but then Schumacher went into pinch run and he scores him from first base with his 17th. He also had a couple walks in this ball game, so a good all-around effort from the rookie outfielders.
All comes down to pitching, though, and the Cardinals get a good start from Braden Looper.
Absolutely. 7 innings. He allows 3 runs, but he picks up his 12th victory. And, you know, it got away from him a little bit early in this ball game. All 3 of those runs scored in 1 inning, but he gutted it out, went back there, regrouped, and goes 7 innings in a well-deserved victory.
You know about closing games out. Chris Perez, so far, so good.
Yeah, he's really been outstanding. He's got, you know, he's been perfect since he's come up. He's got 5 saves this month, and 3 of those have been more than 1 inning. So, you know, a couple 5-out saves today. It was a 4-out save.
All right, so the Cardinals will enjoy the off day tomorrow. Big series. We'll preview it later in the show with Milwaukee coming to town on Tuesday night. Let's send it back over to the studio.
Dan and Al, I wanted to ask, ask Al a deeper question about Chris Perez. We know the results are good. I'm just wondering, with your experience, do you see him starting to maybe act like a closer? I know what we know they've been given that title, but I mean, is he showing you some signs of how he's going about his business that really can maybe let us know whether or not he's that guy for the future or not?
I think that answer is yes, but I think he's very smart in being in a veteran bullpen of not showing too much and not acting like the closer. Internally, he is. And I've had some conversation with him, and I'm very impressed with his attitude. But I think he's being very respectful of the other veteran pitchers down there and not trying to act a little too cocky or a little get ahead of himself. But what I see from him, I like.
And Dan, I think you're doing a terrific job. So keep it up.
Thanks, Rick.
We appreciate it.
Hi, Dan.
Appreciate that.
All right,
it only
guys.
took you 3 months to start doing that again. But good job.
All right, we'll catch
the
up with you
popcorn?
guys. Popcorn was excellent. He managed to slide me 1 box out of the 9 he had in front of him. Thanks, guys. We'll wait for the review a little later on. Going to the first inning for the highlights. 1 on for Albert Pujols, a no-doubter. Off Jojo Reyes, 2-run shot. Albert's 28th homer of the season right away. It's 2-0 Cardinals. So off to a very good start thanks to Albert. To the top of the second, 2 outs, bases loaded for the Braves pitcher, Reyes, and he lifts this one to left, and Brian Barton, well, he can't quite come up with it. 2-run score on the blue pit, and it ties it up at 2. To the next batter we go, and it's Gregor Blanco. He singles into right field off Braden Looper, and the Braves have a 3-2 lead, and so the lead is erased for the Cardinals, but the Cardinals answer in the bottom of the second. Runners on second, third, Brian Barton delivering the double down the left field line, bringing home both runners. 4-3 as the Cardinals go right back on top. To the bottom of the 4th, runners on second and third for Joe Mather. He flies out to right, but he gets an RBI on the sacrifice fly. 5-3 Redbirds, Mather's 16th RBI in limited action. Top of the 6th, 2 outs, runner on second for Martin Prado, and he singles to right, but Ryan Ledwick comes up throwing, and he has aspirations of gunning down Chipper Jones in the plate, and he does it, inning over. Bottom of the 6th, the runner on first for Mather, and he comes through again with a 2-out double to the gap in left center. Skip Schumacher pinch running, comes around to score all the way from first. 6-3 Cards. That's all the scoring, and that's the final. 6-3 as the Cardinals out-hit the Braves 11-7. It's the Redbirds going back up to a record of 73-59, so the high water mark again. 14 games over 500. Braden Looper improves to 12-10, which equals the 12 wins that he got last year at 12-12. But this is his 6th straight 7-inning quality start, and he has been absolutely terrific. Much more on him coming up, but we've got to start, Rick, by talking about Albert Pujols. And it's a situation where you don't expect Albert to come into a series and go, well, there's Chipper Jones leading the batting title over in the other dugout. I'm going to show him. But it does seem to be, for whatever reason, a little bit of a little extra motivation, not just winning the game, but maybe driving the ball a little bit more, and Albert has done that all 3 games.
Albert's a guy that seems to get enough motivation just within himself, but it's certainly motivation for us to really follow what happens over the next month between Chipper Jones and Albert Pujols, who are really, they're just distinguishing themselves as the best hitters in the National League. Albert with a home run early today, 8 for 10 in this series. Albert with his 28th home run, and he's going to get over 100 RBIs. He's going to get 35 plus home runs. And I'm saying, to me, right now, he's the most valuable player in the National League. Now, I'll get all kinds of arguments from all kinds of people over that as to whether or not the Cardinals get in the playoffs or not. To me, it doesn't make any difference. He's still the best player in the National League. And Chipper Jones, 360 average. He's got pop too. Look how close they are, just percentage points away from each other.
Right.
And I think we're going to monitor that. It'll be a fun thing to follow over the next 4 and 5 weeks.
Well, and it's not like Chipper Jones is, going into this massive slump. 4 for 12 the last time I checked is 333, but when you started out at 360, that'll drop you a percentage point this late in the season. And Albert Pujols, on a tear, batting 800 for the series, and so they are just percentage points away from one another.
Well, and Chipper is obviously doing it on a team where he's not getting a lot of help too, so you got to give him credit for the numbers that he's putting up when he really has had such a problematic lineup, the Braves, all year long. Bobby Cox has dealt with injury after injury. So for Chipper Jones to do what he's doing, he's not really getting pitched to either. Frank Coors having an off year. So, I got to give a lot of credit to Chipper Jones at his age, I must say as well, putting up the numbers he's putting up.
Well, I'm back to Albert real quick. I don't think that Albert set out to win the batting title this weekend and didn't really set out to send a message, but the message he wanted to send was probably more to his ball club, and that is, come on, boys, we're going for a series win, and we've got to get it. And nobody is better at that, and that's why I think, like you do, that he's the most valuable player in the National League.
Well, I really do. I think he is right now, because I think the Cardinals have, that one of the things that people always talk about is do you help your team play better than they would without you? And are you contributing, and are you putting up the numbers? And we've talked all year long about the Cardinal team maybe being a third-place team, fourth-place team out of spring training. They have totally overachieved. So you've got to give Albert credit for that. That's why everybody gave credit to Jimmy Rollins last year, although I still don't get that because the Phillies were good anyway. But the point is, Albert has done something to elevate this Cardinal batting order, because you've got guys hitting at 300 level that have never done that before.
Right.
You've got the best hitting team really at this point in the National League.
I think they today would have overtaken they were tied with the Cubs as far as batting average at 281. I'm sure they upped that number. Let's head downstairs now. Tony La Russa just moments ago addressing the media about today's 6-3 victory.
Will he start from Luke today?
Yeah, well, their guys are all over giving them 3. I mean, that's a ticket. You have 3, we score more, but no, not standing. And he finished it well, too. Last 3 or 4 shutout innings thereafter. Pitched outstanding.
How did Barton hurt himself?
Running.
On that bunt?
Yeah, but he complained, I don't know, a few days ago that he was feeling a little tug, and he was good to go. And I think he was just exerting himself on the run. Yeah, a heck of a game for us.
Do you anticipate it's anything serious?
Well, the thing I always think about is, what in baseball do you not use your side? Your torque, your core, run, hit, throw, catch, run, hit, throw, catch, yeah. So, and he runs hard. So I'm definitely concerned about it.
How about Albert's series in general?
Well, I mean, I like what Bobby said about him. What did he say? Something like, there's nobody out there better than he is, or something. And he's right. So, I mean, I like different pitches that he hit. I mean, he hit balls away, hit balls in on his hands, hit balls up, down, 90 plus, off speed. There's nobody better than he is.
He was briefly in the league, batting league, I think before Chipper.
No, we were talking about somebody before the game, maybe Derek or someone. But did we talk about that before the game? But actually, just as a fan, you got to watch it a little bit, don't you? Especially when we're in the same ballpark. It was fun.
You looking at that?
I was. All series. Just not coach like to admit it. That it? Is that good?
Perez looked pretty strong. Again.
I mean, I'd say it's tougher than it looks, because they're only another base runner away from, and even the 9th. You put a guy or 2 on base. They got Kotze, they got Johnson, all those guys on the bench. Frank Coors, the 3-run homer. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty good, real good, in fact. Save is tougher than it might have seemed. I can talk about the way I was sweating.
How impressive has Mather been as a part-time player when he's not used to being a part-time player?
Real impressive. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to work. You know, you get fresh blood in there on Sunday afternoon. And we don't, I mean, who knows? The guys that would have played and Keel and Schumacher, they might have knocked in a couple and scored and all that stuff. But what both Brian and Joe did, that's some of his talent, lots of attitude. Just not giving in to lack of playing time and just competing.
Tony, I know you like to see the same thing every game from guys, and that's one thing that Albert has brought. But I think it was a few weeks ago we had the Manning experience come in, and Albert put on a show in that series. You got Chipper come in here, leaving the batting title, and now leaving with only a slim lead. Is there a rise to the occasion element?
Sure.
There.
But how's that different from? I mean, he didn't get to 350 and 80, whatever he's got, in 2 series. I mean, he rises occasion all the time. The difference is in both those series, the pitching staffs competed against him. They gave him some pitches to hit, and some of it's their attitude, some of it's the fact we got young guys with production behind them, hopefully.
How important was Ledwig's throw from right catch station game?
Well, it's a 1-run game, I think, wasn't it? Without it?
We made it one.
Yeah. That's huge. I mean, all of a sudden you walk out the field instead of big play. The thing I like about it, you know, he didn't think he had a great day at the plate. He had some chances, but at first 2 at-bats, he had great swings, just missed. Then he chased 2 pitches, and he still played defense. So he's a real player.
Do you need any kind of report on Carpenter's throw?
I heard it went okay. Yeah, I mean, no negative. You know, I don't think he aired it out 100%. I'm not exactly sure how you would describe it, but I think he's going to throw Wednesday. Going to take 2 days off.
Just repeat what he did today. Just repeat what he did today.
I imagine he may put a little more into it. I don't know.
Wasn't that supposed to be today?
No, he did it today. He did something work today, and it came out all right. So 2 days off. He's going to throw Wednesday.
I thought he was going to go for 100 today.
I don't think so.
Any thoughts on Milwaukee come in here?
I hope they lose it. The Pirates just tied him, so I hope they get beat today. No, I mean, that's meaningful games this time of year. How much more fun is it? October is the only thing more meaningful. So, I mean, that'll be fun. You know, I like the way they go about it, and we have good games usually against them. So, look forward to it.
How much time on your off day will you think about the Milwaukee Brewers?
It's just a game, Joe. I mean, Frank, what is there to think about? No, I mean, first of all, the family's not here. What else are you going to think about? You know, get there and mess around. And like I say, it's part of the fun of playing games this late in August or September. So you, instead of going to the movie, you know, you start paying attention to the Brewers. I mean, that's part of the fun.
Well, still much more to come on U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. We'll talk Braden Looper, and we'll hear from Joe Mather, among others, coming up on Cardinals Live.